Hey everybody, what's up? How are you two doing? Again, YouTube like no one's watching. I sent my coach the link to my Aerosmith tarot assistant rant. I feel like we came to a more compassionate place about Aerosmith's permanent vacation. Regardless, I thought since I haven't been able to see my coach, he would appreciate the process that we followed and at least think it was somewhat amusing. So I sent him the link, and then I told him, since we're not able to really hang out right now, that he can send me topics. And boy, did he. I told him no politics because all the pro-tarot people have that covered already. Oh, see? And again, oh, Morgan. Morgan's been very feisty today. Well, we had a little bit of a scuffle. I think she missed me, so she decided to make me play a game of 78 card pickup. Oh, Morgan, you're so saucy. So my coach sent me a million topics. I said that philosophy's cool. Music stuff, I'll always. He sent me a number of questions that he thought maybe I could use. But I think what I'm going to start with is, because I'm wearing this shirt, he must have psychically known that this is a shirt for the band Sunn. They are a drone metal band, and no one really knows who's in the band. I'm sure that there's no demand for TMZ to hide in the bushes and try to figure out who's in it. I don't care who's in the band. They come out in like druid robes and they play with so much dry ice fog that you can't really see them. And you're not supposed to be focusing on them anyway. It's not the point. The show I went to was a 9:30. It was a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And it was a meditative experience. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know anything about that. I just know that I'm a drone girl. My all-time favorite genre of music is sludge and doom and drone, like the very low frequency stuff. That's really not too much of a surprise. I'm kind of a low and slow girl. The really deep bassy stuff. It's why I think I like the music I like. When I go to get MRIs, I have to get them every year or two to keep an eye on my condition. I actually look forward to the MRI. It sounds like a lot of the music I listen to. Like, I get super excited. As long as they have the fan on at the head of the tube, like, I'm super down to climb in there for an hour. Like, I don't even care. I love author Punisher. He's a medical technologist. He makes his own instruments. He uses his day job skill to do that for his musical instruments. He makes medical machinery at work, and then he comes home and he makes his own musical equipment. And it's just very industrial sounding and very exciting. I am getting to a point. If you watched any of my other videos, you know I always get to a point. I'm just kind of filling in the backstory. I'm building my case. One of the questions that Mama sent me was the history of the brown note. This is the origin of this, from what I could tell from we've talked about it before. He said that if he had a superpower, that's what he would have. It was just, like, zzz, you pooped your pants. Honestly, I can't think of a better power. I mean, that would take care of all of the problems, and you're not talking about, that's a non-violent means to a solution. How willing is someone to go through with a violent crime if they've just pooped in their own pants? Right? It's supposed to be instant diarrhea. So let's just take a look. I'm not sure that it's exactly a complete fabrication because, when I was at the Sunn show, this is why I was talking about frequencies. Much like Beethoven's works, let's just say there was a movement. Now, I did not poop in my pants. I did not completely poop my pants. I'm just saying I'm glad I stood near the bathroom, and we are not going to delve any further into my colonic activities at night. I'm just going to say that I find it hard to believe that the brown note is not at least partially possible. That the existence of it is completely fabricated. What do we have to say about the Dookie? Nine of Pentacles. Morgan's about her business. She's not playing around. I think maybe I took even longer than I should have yesterday, which I felt like I was chopping off like 10 minutes from the time. Okay, a responsible and hardworking man. He has acquired sufficient skills to be of service. I get this a lot. It just pops out. The Knight of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles. The Devil. And we're not even... Oops, I did it again. That's what Morgan's saying. I don't know how that relates to the brown note. Maybe, don't you do it if it is. Queen of Pentacles, Morgan. All right, listen, baby. Hold on. Maybe she's just trying to help me learn. Because as you know... Oh, well, this isn't about me. That's for sure. A highly intelligent woman inclined to order and efficiency. I'm inclined to it. All right, it's just that unless I'm getting paid to do it, I won't. She's generous, secure, and free of material care. Well, of course, a queen would be free of material care because she's got plenty. All right, well, thank you, Morgan, for that insight. Did she know about the brown note? Is that what she's doing? Is she telling me that the entire major arcana or the entire suit of pentacles knows about the brown note? Did they help create it? What's the deal? The brown note. I don't know how to ask yes or no questions, so I guess what I'll do is this, because I'm not sure. He just said the brown note, the history of the brown note. That's something I can research online, but I'm not sure how to formulate it into like a tarot-friendly question. Verstehe? And this other thing he sent, man, this is gonna take some work. It's an entire page of. I don't understand why my coach doesn't start his own channel, because he could just rant and rave behind the wheel, and we always had the most thought-provoking discussions. In our gym, if you were so inclined, you didn't just get physically strong, you also explored many different areas of life intellectually. And if you were smart, you became a more rounded individual. I know I did, but not just my waistline. That's a joke. I was fat when I went in. Okay. I have a muscle gut, so I'm exempt. Okay, so let's talk about the brown note. And then, like, here's the other thing about the brown note. Let's say it did exist, okay? Let's say it didn't, let's say it wasn't, the origin of it wasn't some, like, Onion article, basically, back in the 20s. Let's say that the existence of it was discovered by people. First of all, how long would it take you to connect whatever frequency was being heard by your body, not necessarily your ears? How long would it take you to connect that and your sudden shardy party, if you will? And then how would you then ask around to see if anybody else pooped in their pants? That would be the worst detective show ever. CSI Brown Note. Like, how would one go about the room and be like, hey, you know that plane that flew overhead, I pooped in my pants. Did you guys poop in your pants? Weird. I'm gonna do, until I figure out, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this channel. Maybe somebody will run across it and let me know, or maybe I'll do this and start figuring stuff out, and then it'll help someone else with their tarot. But how about if we just do yes is upright and no is reversed? And here's what the question is, Morgan. Does the brown note actually exist? Okay. Does it actually exist? I just realized now I might be able to tell. Okay, let's do this. Because I can tell by the backs of the card whether it's reversed or not. Let's do this. I'm going to, in the middle of the deck, and I have my eyes closed too. I'm going to pull the deck away, and then we'll just see. What is that? What? Oh, I closed my eyes so well that I held up the wrong. No, it says it doesn't. I want to recount. Hold on. Ding dong. This is the most haphazard tarot channel to ever exist. Dingus. Okay. Let's try this one more time. This time we're going to grab the right half of the deck, the correct half, and we're going to say, what is this? It does exist, and the Empress looks like she may have pooped in her pants. No, I'm kidding. I would never say that. I'm not being serious, guys. The Empress goes before the Emperor. That's right. Jokes. Wife, mother, companion. Through warmth and devotion, she brings pleasure and comfort to her loved ones. Finds practical application and purposes for ideas. Like satirical articles about something called a brown note. Listen, okay. I'm going to do some more research because I'm not done with this. The reason why I think that there's even a slight possibility that it can, not just my anecdotal situation at the Sunn show at 9:30, but also because I know that clarity, I know that laughter brings clarity. I mean, let's think about it. How many times have you gotten all bunchy, you've gotten all jazz handsy about something, you're flapping around like one of those wind socks at the car dealership, okay? And you're all riled up about something, and then you call your friend who loves to talk the shit. And then next thing you know, you're making jokes, right? You're riffing back and forth about the situation. You're running your ex's voicemails through auto-tune and Google Translate just for funsies, getting a huge hysterical laugh about it. I mean, hypothetically, I mean, I may or may not have actually done that for several people, but do you ever notice that once you start laughing about something, you relax a little bit, and then you're like, oh, I know what the next step is. I know what my plan should be. Like, hasn't that happened to you at all? Because it's happened to me a million times. So what I'm saying is this. I'm saying I think there's a probability that there is a brown note because the dude was doing like a satirical article, and sometimes in my satire, I have actually come upon the truth of something because I wasn't all bunchy about it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Can I get a witness for any of this? I can't be the only one that this has happened to. For that reason, my jury is still out about the brown note, and I will continue to explore this taurotically instead of neurotically, I guess. So that concludes our brown note segment, and now I'm going to move on with the rest of my list here. I mean, the questions are they're just piling up, people. We have a backlog